Hello, Assalamualaikum. Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you are doing great. So today we are going to have a revision on summarizing. We have learned this topic before under the topic of critical reading, and I believe that based on your responses, based on your answer script that you have answered during a test, most of you are unable to nail your summarizing task well. So I decided to conduct revision on summarizing skills today. So when we talk about, let us begin. When we talk about summarizing, basically summarizing is all about shortening a long text in order to highlight its main ideas and major details. But before you proceed with your summary writing, you need to be able to distinguish between paraphrasing and summarizing. Paraphrasing is all about restating what the writer has written using your own words. That means whatever information that you get from the original text, you're going to write it using your own words. But it differs from summarizing, because summarizing, you write the synopsis. It is all about an abridgment that expresses the main idea of the original text. So paraphrasing, once you paraphrase the information that you obtain from the original text, the length can be longer or probably have the same length when you compare it with the original text. But summarizing, it's not. It should be shorter than the original text. And when we talk about paraphrasing, whatever information that you get from the original text, you need to include everything. It should include all information given or that you get from the original text, but not for summarizing. If it's summarizing, it includes only the main ideas, only the important major points that you obtain from the original text. Thus, when you only put main ideas or major subpoints inside your writing, you're going to omit, you're going to discard all unimportant details, examples, and redundancy. In addition, when we talk about the content of paraphrasing and summarizing, for paraphrasing, you can always paraphrase a word, individual ideas in a sentence, a paragraph, or maybe the whole entire of the original text, but not for summarizing. You can only summarize a paragraph or a passage or text. But bear in mind, both paraphrasing and summarizing should maintain the original meaning of the given text. You don't give your own interpretation or ideas in the text itself, in your writing. So basically, when you are being asked to summarize information, you, especially during a test, actually it tested your ability to understand the requirement of the task, how you are able to comply with the instruction given, how you are able to elicit important information in the original text, how you are able to synthesize information in logical manner, how you are going to paraphrase those information that you get from the original text, as well as the right mechanics of language. We talk about grammar, we talk about sentence structure itself. So how you are going to write a good summary? There are strategies that you can employ in order for you to write a good summary. So the first thing first that you need to do is you need to study the task closely to determine what are the aspects, what are the information needs to be summarized, and identify the word limit. Because whenever you take a look at the instruction, normally the instruction will determine what is the focus, what is the scope of information that you need to summarize, as well as its words limit. At times at times it is stated your summary should not more than 50 words. Your summary should not more than 100 words. So you need to abide with the instruction given. After you have studied the task, you need to read the title, if there is any, as well as the whole entire of the passage or the text, in order to get the gist what the passage or the text is all about. after you have done it, you have to determine what are the main points and major details. Normally, you can spot the main points in the beginning or at the end of the paragraph. Normally, let's say I give you an example of a short paragraph. Mr. Rizwan works in Subang Residential Development. His job requires him to attend regular meetings with residents to sort out any complaints or grouses. He also needs to ensure that the shared compounds are well kept and the lifts are in working condition. So basically here, your main point is all about Mr. Rizwan, who works in Subang Residential Development. So that is your topic sentence, and the rest remaining sentences is your supporting details that further tells you about Mr. Rizwan's job scope. Okay, after you have identified main points and major details in the original text, your next step before you write your summary, try your best to rephrase the phrases that you get from the original text with only one word to express the ideas concisely. For instance, if let's say in the original text you find phrases such as in a careless way, it consists of 4 words, right? Instead of writing 4 words, why don't you replace it just only 1 word? Carelessly. It carries the same meaning, right? So you save up your word limit there. Had nowhere to live. You just change it into homeless. Find a solution too. It's all about solving. Find a solution. So you change it into 1 word. Solve. After you are able to replace these phrases into 1 word, remember, your summary is all about highlighting or indicating the main point and major subpoints. You're going to omit, put aside, leave out all unnecessary words, which at times you can find it's just only a repetition of ideas. For instance, if it's in the original text, the crowd of people push and shove their way into the cinema. So the word crowd of people, it exemplifies or it describes there are massive of people there. So basically, instead of writing repetition of ideas here, you can always write it straight away as the crowd push their way into the cinema. Alright, next. If possible, you can always employ generalization to reduce the number of words by generalizing specific words in your writing. For instance, in the original text, she likes to read books on Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, and Christianity. So Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, and Christianity is all about religion, right? It falls under one big umbrella. It's all about religion. So you write it as she likes to read religious books. Easy, right? Alright, next. Please use linking words or discourse markers when you want to connect ideas in your writing, because different linking words or discourse markers serve different purposes. If let's say you want to say additional of idea, you can always use linking words such as furthermore, moreover, besides that, and. If you want to compare something between A and B, for instance, you can always use words such as likewise, similarly, compared to. If you want to show contrastive ideas, you can always use words such as however, nevertheless, despite, although, but. If you want to show result, use words such as therefore, thus, as a result, so. If you want to indicate time, use words such as eventually, meanwhile, later. If you want to give further explanation, use phrase such as on top of that, or words such as firstly, secondly, next. And finally, if you want to conclude or recap your summary, you can always use words such as in conclusion, to sum up, hence. And the final step. Remember, essay has its words limit, right? And I found that majority of you are grappling to count how many words are there inside your summary. There is actually a life hack for that. You can always write 10 words in a line to avoid wasting your time. Keep on recounting how many numbers of words you have written inside your summary. You just put your content in form of table. So you have 10 columns in each and every line. So you just count the number of lines when you have finished your summary, because each and every line you have 10 columns. So for instance, for this particular 2 sentences, it consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 25 it consists of 20 because you have 20 lines and plus 5 more words. So it is equivalent to 25 words in this particular summary. And ta-da! We have ended our lesson. Now it's time for you to test your understanding, because you have learned this topic before under the topic of critical reading. It's time for you to complete your quiz. And you can always get the URL for your quiz in Quizlet in your Google Classroom. So you can play this quiz, or you can enroll into this quiz remotely. And once you are done with your quiz as part of our class activity today, I need you to complete your tutorial task, in which go to your Google Classroom, complete your assigned summary. You need to produce a summary of this assigned passage in not more than 50 words. Okay? If you have any problems, feel free to contact me. I'll be happy to assist you. Till then, take care. Assalamualaikum. And please take a good care of yourself. Bye.